He had one joke that I'm like, I don't care what people say. As a black person, I'm like, it's a great joke. This when he says,
sweet lemons.
Very easy as well, especially online, to go that way in order to like get an audience. Yeah. Because there are a lot of people who feel like they haven't been served by comedy or whatever, because they feel like, oh, you can't say nothing anymore, that kind of thing. Like, did you watch Ricky Gervais's new special? What did you think of it?
It was not too different from the previous ones. I thought it wasn't for me.
No.
I know he's been funny in the past, especially like Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Felt a bit punching down sort of thing.
Yeah.
And like the explanation didn't really match up to the jokes, which he sort of said, where it sort of felt like, see, I'm going to explain why this is not offensive.
Yeah.
As such, but it doesn't hold up. I guess that point does make sense, but it's also not considering into action that there are people who would look out to you as like a voice, because you are so platformed. People will get influenced. And I guess it's more like a philosophical debate of, as someone who's got such a big platform, do you have that responsibility to make sure people think the way I meant to say it out loud?
Yeah.
Or you sort of know, like, people are just going to take this bit and think that this is how I feel about things or that, right?
Yeah.
So it's
a tough
moral dilemma.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, I would even take it back from the moral dilemma, and I would almost be like, I think it's a shame, really, because you have this situation where you have someone who I think is genuinely used to be one of the most creative stand-ups and comedians in the world, and he has made jokes that are very clever and deconstruct issues in the best ways that I've ever seen. But now, because this whole anti-cancel culture thing has become so profitable and it's a thing you can just do, that is all he does. And it's kind of with Dave Chappelle as well. Like, I love Dave Chappelle. Like, Sticks and Stones, the special, is the reason I started comedy, really. But like, once everything becomes about trans people and everything becomes about cancel culture, it's just like, yeah, I get it, fair enough, whatever you feel, but like, let's do something else. Because it's almost like this issue has just broken their brains. So it's either they're doing it on purpose because of money, or they don't realize that they're doing it because of all the backlash, and it just becomes the only thing they focus on. Yeah, because it just becomes a point where it's just like, there's other things to laugh at.
Yeah, I think it's also the reaction that you give. Like, obviously, I'm absolutely nobody to comment on these guys as comedians, but like in general, when like people are saying, talking about any issues, like if for me, for example, if I talking shit about something and someone tells me, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, I'm a bit motivated to be like, oh, don't tell me what to do. And I would want to react to that. So I don't know, maybe like on the reaction side, maybe it's just best to not react to things, and I understand the argument of why you should react as well, but like I mean, like even Dave Chappelle, so he did start off that when I went like, oh man, no. I thought we closed this chapter, but then like the next 40 minutes he doesn't do those things. He sort of talks about Chris Rock and things like that, which is like, but that became like the talking point of the entire show, which is like, okay, so I don't know if it gave the right weightage to what that show was about.
Even with the Ricky Gervais one, my problem is the fact that it just becomes a lecture on cancel culture and this is why it's bad, and then a lot of people just come to see him because they're just like, oh, Ricky Gervais, he's the person that doesn't like cancel culture. I mean, he had one joke that I'm like, I don't care what people say, I would genuinely say is actually quite good. As a black person, I'm like, it's a great joke. This when he says, he's talking about cancel culture, and he's like, cancel culture is bad, people are always complaining about cancel culture, and then now black people say the N-word, we invented that. Yeah, that's a good line. It's a good line. And everyone freaked out. But I'm like, that's a good line.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I still think he's a funny person. Like, it's not like, it's more like the topics, like jokes wise, I thought it was like funny. Like, I went to Top Secret the other day when I was on the lineup. This guy who just did like every hard hitting topic. And